So I had to redo that video. I was sniffing the nose too much, so I had to bring it inside. It's been rather cold down here, even for southern Utah. But we're known not for the cold in the winter. But hopefully it won't be sniffing the nose as much. Um, I was thinking the other day. I don't know if you've ever had any interaction with lasers. They're an amazing tool. Just about a lot of industries use them as a tool. If you go to check out, the grocery store or wherever, a lot of those barcode scanners use lasers to process that barcode. So they're amazing. These lasers are just amazing in what they can do and the tools that they can be. They can also be used improperly. I don't know if you heard years ago there were some kids involved with shining these lasers into cockpits, into airplanes, and really messing up the vision of a pilot. Not a good thing, not a good practice. But what is a laser? What does it mean to be laser focused? If you put a lot of energy into one light wave, essentially what you're getting is output is a laser. So one light wave. So can you have a rainbow colored laser? Multiple colors? No, it's impossible. You can't have more than one laser. The two that I am familiar with are the amber and the red, the green and the red. But yeah, they're amazing pieces of equipment. But one color, one focus, and very focused. What if you had, or you did the same thing with your life? If you ignored all other light waves, all other distractions, and you put all of your whole mind into a single task, now you'd be accomplishing great things in your life. You're focused. Your number one goal is you're in school for a number of years is to become more like God. And how do you do that? You improve yourself. You improve your skills. You focus on a career path. Maybe you decide to go to a tech school, learn a trade, sign up for an internship, job shadow somebody, uh, but you're focused. You're very focused. Um, and really, your job is to become a provider, someone who can contribute to the world by providing for a family as a husband and father. And also, you have great contributions you can make to the world in your field and in your expertise and your wisdom. But your primary focus in school should be that. What if you're trying to live in two different worlds? I have uh, my school world and then I have my fun world. Well, you're not going to accomplish things like you could as if you were laser focused. Even Olympic athletes have to focus, well, especially to get to that level. But they cannot stay up late watching movies, eating junk food, drinking, having a partying lifestyle and still succeed. It requires a total focus. You can't have backup plans. It's just everything has to be focused on success and how do I improve and become better, the training. So your focus requires all of your heart, mind, and strength. You can't be defrayed. Uh, you can't lose focus. You have to be singular in your purpose. You can't have two focuses at the same time. You can't have backup plans. You have to be 100% in. And even at the elite athlete level, if you have to pick one, if you're in track, you pick your distance. I'm going to do the 100 meter. It's a sprint. You can't excel if you're doing that and also excel in being the 1600-meter leader. You have to pick. Usain Bolt, who was the fastest man in history, was if you remember, the Jamaican who became the first man to run the 100-meter in less than 10 seconds, 9.6 seconds. So just amazing. But Mr. Bolt couldn't do that and also be on the world stage, the best at the 1600 meter. He had to choose. He had to be one. Even at that level, they have to be singular in their focus. As it comes down to even your daily tasks, if you're studying for a test, you're trying to be focused, it's a good idea to have the phone right next to you. What happens? You get all these notifications on your phone. I've got email, Facebook does an update, Instagram, whatever. You get distracted, you lose focus. Put it away. So how should you see your life? In a sense, black and white. Things I do to stay focused and on track, and things that I lose focus in or take me off that path. You really should have a daily plan, monthly plan, weekly plan, all centered around a life plan, what you intend to do. And there is a great book that I read a few months ago by Robert Smith, and it's called Joy on Purpose. And he really helps to define how you can set up this life plan. I thought it was very helpful. And I'll put a link to that book in the description field. But if you think about it, life really is progressive, sequential. You either build on past successes as you go higher, or in a sense, go lower on your past failures, and that continues unless you change directions. And some of the biggest mistakes we make in life are getting things out of order, like out of sequence. First, you need to have that written plan. And anytime you have a question, like, what job should I get during school? I've got time after school that I can work and still fit in all the study I'm doing. What kind of job should I get during the summer? How should I spend all my extra time? All of these questions should be answered by that life plan that you have. And like I say, going back to this life is sequential, a lot of times we really mess things up when we get things out of order. Number one, I can think back in my life, one of the things I did wrong is moving to a new place with my family without having a job first. And there were some big reasons why I did that, but it was a mistake. Always have employment first before you move to a new place. Same thing goes with, is it a good idea to have a serious relationship with a young lady before you have a career in place or you're well down the road of having a career? I think when I first started dating my wife, I had been at the university for 3 years. I just had a few, back then it was quarters, just had a couple quarters to finish and I was done. And so I was well along the path of career. Another example is like, would you start painting before you do all the prep work? Taping up all the lines, doing all the sanding and the holes. You have to do the prep work first. Same thing as the marathon. I can't go out and run a marathon tomorrow. I could, but most of it would be walking. I wouldn't be able to run many of the 26 miles. So bottom line, don't lose focus. Keep your focus. With that being said, what is the point of having a relationship with the girl that, when you're 16, 17, 18, when you're in school? There's no point. It's a distraction. Do you really want to be a father at 16? That's how you get things out of order. And I've known a lot of young people that have started out very young going down that road. And it's a tough way to start a life. There's an exception. You probably can think of exceptions. My in-laws are an exception. They got married at 16, but he worked his butt off and he made it work. But that was a lot of years ago. That doesn't, in this environment, that doesn't work. So having a teenage relationship with girls is the bad idea. It's expensive emotionally, economically, mentally. I mean, it's going to cost you money, but the resources mentally and emotionally you have to expend into it is just there's no point. It's not worth it. And sure, you can go to the dances, go to the social events, go to the group, go to the games in groups. Practice your social skills, develop those. Um, but to do single dating, get serious, not worth it, no point, not good. Um, use your mental resources, emotional resources in fulfilling your life plan. All through high school and most of college, I never really had any serious girlfriends. And I thought it was good. You know, I look back on the career, I got through college, the university, uh, got a business management degree, and then it was in business management. Um, Nobody wanted to hire someone to manage their business. I had no experience. I kind of fell into a job. I made it work because I put a ton of energy into it, been able to provide for a family. It doesn't work. These days, it doesn't work. I'm not saying that college isn't always an answer, but most of the time I've seen it's a delay for a decision. Don't put off your career decisions with a 4 or 5 year degree and then get out and say, well, what am I going to do now? I don't know what I'm going to do. That's not, that doesn't work anymore. You're 4 years behind and in debt, which is a terrible idea. Stay laser focused on your plan. Make a plan. Be a Usain Bolt who used his whole mind, heart, and soul to focus on one thing. And everything revolved around how he can be faster. Every minute of his life was used for that goal. What he could do to become an Olympic athlete at that level. Do the same thing in your life. Be laser focused on your career goals so that you can eventually be a successful provider for a family and a husband.